My question is, so I know this planet is kind of held down from the six ether forces due to the, other beings coming from star systems or whatnot. My question is, when the Nataru gets back together and we get each other developed in the right frequency that we're supposed to be in, what is their judgments? The nine ethers that come from other star systems that trouble this planet. What is their judgments? How are they going to get judged?
The nine ether or the six ether?
The sixth ether, the sixth ether.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, they already judged, and they tell you this even in the Quran when it
Okay.
says you're going to gather the guilty blue eye, right? Because obviously when you're dealing with that, you're talking about these original Pleiadians that were responsible for the gravitation of the Adamites in their image and
Right.
their likeness, where they were referred to as the Nordics, with pure blonde hair and blue eyes, which are, when you look at the beings from Aldebaran, the Ashtar Federation and the Pleiadians, that's who you're talking about. And they've already been judged. And sorry, there's a kind of an echo back on your line. But they've been judged by way of their telomeres were designed to fade out after 6,000 years, and that happened in the year 2000 AD. And this is not something that is reversible. It's actually, there's nothing that can be done about it because it's extinction for that specific species of Adamites. And so, just like when the polar bears or any other species gets to a point where they cannot carry on, they fade away. And this is why they have a lot of like the fertility rate, the low sperm count. And this is something you can do your research on to find out, where they're telling you like there's no way, like when you've dropped to that level of fertility in terms of the rate, you're not able to reproduce anymore, and that will only mean that you will fade away. So they're already been judged in that instance. But six ether forces in general have a lot of people under the spell of Kingu or Leviathan. So it's not just them, it's anyone who is not elevating that has been trapped. It's going to also get caught up in the many things that are designed to remove them. And we've seen that with Kobad, which people know as COVID, and the wars and the famine and the tornadoes, the earthquakes, the fires, all these things that are taking place right now on the planet are actually the people or beings that are caught up in these things are getting eliminated. And unfortunately, is referred to as the great and dreadful day of the Lord, meaning that, do you know what I mean? That if you're not rising in consciousness and not rising in your vibration and not in tune with nature, you're going to get caught up, and you need to know where to be and how to avoid these things. And that's why the warner's here with healing in his wings, to actually prepare those who are going to listen. It says in the books of Revelations, which most people think about as the prophetic scripture for this day and time, it says, let those who have an inner ear, let them listen. If you don't listen, it's like it's like the Noah story, when he was saying to people, this is coming, this is going to happen, get yourself prepared. And those
Right,
who
right.
those who just thought it was a joke obviously got caught, and according to the story, got flooded. Yeah, so it's already happening. And nine ethers already on the rise in terms of the sun cycle that's here and the
Right, of
consciousness.
course.
Yeah.
So Tua. But Zamal, what about the how the Pleiadians, they're in another star system where they get judged like in their home? Is it like a universal judgment, or it's just the
Yeah.
ones in this planetary system?
Good question. So what normally happens is that there's a council that meets up, and in the Akasha records, I think somebody mentioned it before, that when you're dealing with like extinction or the elimination of a planet or even a galaxy, or these different beings that represent the different galaxies, come together in the Galactic Federation and they discuss things and they come to a consensus and decide the fate of a planet. And there's a movie, I think it's When It All Ends. I can't remember. There's a movie that actually depicts this where, so yeah, when you're judged, and what happens is that some of these beings, like the reptilians, they run away. Like even like for example, the story of Alalu and Anu, when he was judged because he wanted to take over the throne, and he was judged to be unalived. And what he did is he ran away, and he ran
I
to
went to Mars.
right, went to Mars, and then he came here,
Right.
right. And it's the same with some of these beings. They run away, or like it's like imagine somebody is guilty of a crime and they've been sentenced to be, jailed, and they find a way to escape and run away. And so some of them run from galaxy to galaxy, from planet to planet. But then, just like how you may send, the law enforcement to go and find them, they show you this in things like Men in Black, the movie, where you have extraterrestrials that they come here and they camouflage and they hide and they go to different places, and the Men in Black, they go and find them and then try to take them back or put them in these prisons. So yes, you're right that it's throughout where they are told, because they were responsible for creating the Adamites and they've been warned that they can't do that anymore. So yeah, it happens on a galactical level where these decisions are made by the councils, and then there are different councils all the way to the Council of Nine, which is dealing with the overseers or the Parnatharu, who basically make the final judgment.